We're doing the meditation first, right?
Yes.
I thought today no need. Shall we switch off the lights? Relax, okay? Everyone relax. I would like to invite everyone to sit comfortably. Just sit comfortably. Feel the body relaxing. Okay, close your eyes. Just feel your body relaxing. Feel it first. Now you take a deep breath in. Deep in. Breathe out gently. Deep in again. Breathe out gently. One more time. Deep in. Breathe out gently. Now you scan your body. Any point uncomfortable, you say relax. Your body should be upright, but also relax. You should feel comfortable. Feel it peaceful and calm. This morning, we will do gratitude and then metta. Gratitude requires you to recall the Buddha, the qualities of the Buddha, qualities of Dhamma, and qualities of Sangha. So we'll do it quietly and gently. Out of compassion for the world, the Buddha left behind the Dhamma. 2,500 years later, we still have the Dhamma. Because of the Dhamma, we have the knowledge, a framework of practice that help us escape dukkha. For that, we will always be grateful. With that, you take a mental bow to the Buddha. You're grateful for this Dhamma, which is so beautiful, so sublime, so profound. You're grateful that this pure Dhamma is still with us. And now, with the work of so many Sangha through the ages, we have it widely available. In our language. For that, we are grateful. So a mental bow to the Dhamma and to the Sangha. Many of you would now feel gratitude. Remember this mental state. gratitude is joyous. Feel the joy. You breathe in the joy. With this joy that you have, you feel good. You will wish others well. Because I am a Buddhist and I practice, I learn to calm the mind and to purify it, so my mind is peaceful. I feel joy. As you breathe in, wish yourself well. As you breathe in, may I be well and happy. As you breathe out, may my loved ones, parents, children, siblings and friends, relatives, teachers and colleagues, etc., may they all be well and happy. I sincerely wish them well. So you breathe in. May I be well and happy. When you breathe out, may the world, my loved ones out there, be well and happy. One more time. You're breathing in the well wishes for yourself. When you breathe out, well wishes for others. That you must remember this. We never practice just for ourselves. We purify the mind. We cultivate wholesome mental states so that we can help and be of benefit to others, for ourselves and for others. This has always been the Buddha's teaching. So whatever well wishes we make for ourselves, we must also make for others. We do samadhi for ourselves. We do it so that we can conduct relationship better with others. So one last round as you breathe in. May I be well and happy. And when we breathe out, may all beings be well and happy. The breath connects us all. Every time we watch our breath, we remember the connection with all. Now you dedicate the merits of this morning's sitting with all our past relatives, with all beings, seen, unseen. The past benefactors and the past debtors. May they all be well and happy. And when you are ready, you will rouse the body slowly. Deepen your breathing. Stretch your fingers. Wriggle your toes. Mindfully stretch your neck muscles. Mindfully. Then when you are ready, you can open your eyes slowly. Cannot musawada? Are you guys all awake? Did you have a okay sitting? Peaceful, calm? Ah, very good. Married 𝐒𝐷𝐾𝐀. Okay. Singapore national holiday. November, December. Happy vacation. I can see that today, oh, this room is overwhelmingly crowded. It's a joke. Clearly not at all crowded. I would imagine that the fifth talk on the Mahāparinibbāna, there would be more people then. Oh, yeah, I forgot it's November. How are you guys? Thank you for coming. I'm like, 欢迎光临 like that. Thank you for coming. Yeah. Shall we begin? Okay, come. It's a beautiful story. Before this 5-week-long talk, any of you had actually read through Mahāparinibbāna point to point? Yes? Any of you? Point to point, like first line, 𝐕𝐢𝐝 Sutta to the last line. Really? Nobody? Nobody? Seriously? 没有. One person. Oh, wonderful. How many times? Once. It's a beautiful sutta, really beautiful. Because it talks about the life of our Buddha. And we covered this. So, we covered this. We're going to cover this in 6 talks. Then, oh, it's a really long talk. And if you recall, today's the 5th one, okay? If you recall, let's just go through very quickly. We started 5 weeks back. At that time, Buddha was still in Rajagaha. So for those of you who are going for your pilgrimage, we're going to start from there. Actually, we're not starting from there. We're covering there, Rajagaha, where he had already stayed for some time. But for odd reasons, which had been discussed in the sutta, he decided he had to leave. And we went through that. We know that the ambitious king Ajatasattu wanted to invade a neighboring state. So Buddha, I believe that's the reason why Buddha packed up and moved his entourage out of Rajagaha. And they went northward. So if you look at the slide, the map, Rajagaha starts at the bottom. That's the beginning of his journey. And I mentioned in that talk that this particular sutta is not written for you. It was written, not written, it was compiled probably to answer questions of his disciples and followers in those days. This is not compiled for you, you remember that. This was really put together for the people of those days, because they will be wondering why living peacefully for so long in Rajagaha at 80 years old and not in the best of health, you uprooted and moved. And that journey had a role in diminishing his life. because it was an onerous journey. It went through summer. Indian summer is not funny. Even before global warming, it was warm. Today, you know, it hits 42 degrees Celsius, but in those days, it's just plus and minus a few degrees. It's still 38. It's a very hot time. And he went through that. It was the last few months, and it's a year. It took a while, but he's walking through summer. It's not funny. And along the way, he was teaching the Dhamma consistently. So he went through all those places where he had delivered many beautiful sutta. He went through many of those places. He met up with many disciples, and consistently he will be lecturing, he would be teaching monks, and he would be explaining the Dhamma, the essence of the Dhamma package for all the talks he delivered. And we know at least in one place, they all enjoyed themselves so much he had to tell them to go home. They hung around, and then late already, Buddha said, late, go home. So they rather reluctantly left because they know it's going to be the last time. So you just remember, everywhere he stopped, it's the last time. All those devotees, they will be very sad, but they understand. Okay, maybe they didn't know it's the last time. But at some point he did say that, this is going to be my last visit to Vaishali. He said that. He knew. And he decided, at the 8th September talk, he decided, okay, done. Let go of the life force. And then it will be 3 months from that point onwards, 3 months to the end. Okay, the very last one we had this talk. It was about the 4 great references and then the last meal. What was important? Actually, in all the talks, there are many important areas. But I thought, usually people will focus on his last meal, Chunda's offering, but I'm more interested in focusing on the 4 great references. It's a reminder. So if you don't remember the 4 great references, it was the Buddha saying, when I'm gone, there will be people who come along and make claims about the authenticity of a teaching, which we also still have, right? People are still arguing, oh, Buddha had said this and Buddha had said that. And the Buddha said, you need to know the framework of the Dhamma, and you know it well, so that when people make claims, you are able to say, this is authentic, because it is consistent with his teaching. This is not authentic. It is inconsistent with his teaching. If you don't know the framework of the Dhamma, the key framework of the Dhamma, you will not be able to make an independent call, independent judgment for yourself. But if you know the key teachings, the key components, you will be able to make that call. So I know some of you say, okay, what's the key component? 4 noble truths and the 8-fold paths. The 3 characteristics. Dependent origination, if you are familiar with it. But at least 4 noble truths, 8-fold paths, and the 3 characteristics. His teachings, the teachings in these areas, boleh, cukup, boleh, can, good. Okay, right? Okay. Cukup, enough. Okay? Okay, now, the last one. Not last yet. The 5th one, today. Last day, literally the last 24 hours. Actually, if less than that, it's less than 24 hours, okay? Last mile, last words. Okay, now, today, for those of you with plans for lunch, I hereby give you permission to leave when you want to leave. It's a long day. Look at how many topics. Now, you will notice 26 to 34 is in black. 5, 35, and 36. 26 to 34 in black, 35, 36 in blue. The reason is because the fifth recitation actually covers up to 34. That's the topic, ends there. Then you say, then why you continue? We could have saved ourselves that last two. Because we just end it today. Those are literally the last two. So I don't know how they arranged this, but this last 2, point 35 and 36, which actually belongs together, ended up in the next recitation. So in my mind, we will finish to the end today, so that at least for those who are going for your pilgrimage, you know where it ends. No need to wait until you come back and then listen to the end, okay? There are a few things here. Today, actually, in terms of what we are covering, it's not difficult. It's straightforward until we reach the end. At the end, then it will require a bit more explanation. Okay, let's go. Now, the pair of sour trees. I find the topic theme rather cute. I don't know why this is called a pair of sour trees. This was where the Buddha ended his journey. And it was deliberate. He wanted that pair. He wanted that place. He could have ended earlier, but no. He pushed on that bit more, had his bath, and now come to this pair of trees. He said, let's go to the far shore of the Golden River and on to the south forest of the Malas at Upawatana near Kusinara. He went there. He said he was tired, he's going to rest. And so he went down, he rested. They arranged for him and he rested. A point to share, which I think many of you would have noticed, all the major milestones in the Buddha's life took place in the forest. From his birth in Lumbini Park, to enlightenment in Bodh Gaya, to the delivery of the first sermon at Benares, Isipatana, Benares, or in today's term, Varanasi. They are all in forests. It has been written that the Buddha had a particular soft spot for forests. Maybe. But I would also like to add that therefore, our concrete jungle notwithstanding, we must always have that respect for nature, for the forests that had been the birthplace of Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. We must always remember that. And so we must do our part to plant a tree, and no need to physically go plant a tree, but to plant a tree and to support all those activities that lead to tree planting. So don't laugh at tree planting, okay? Singapore is on the right track. But the other point that I want to say, and this tone continued throughout, clinical, detached, factual. If this were a newspaper, nobody will read. There is no emotion carried, but I want you to put yourself in the sandals of the Sangha of yonder days. Your heart will break. Right? This is the last days. It is his last days. Every time, by the way, I've read this sutta many times. Every time I read it, except for now, every time I read it, I cry. Oh, it's so sad. I have no idea why. But today, because I'm teaching, cannot suka keep crying, right? So I shall be very dry and clinical also. Okay? Heavy emotion. You just look at the words. Now, this is magic. This part, invariably, Buddha's birth, Buddha's death, over the time, they will insert in the magic moments. So here the magic moment is nature honoring the Buddha. Out of season, blooming, sprinkle his body with the living Buddha at that point, sprinkle the living body with flowers, out of seasons blooming, music. You can just imagine how beautiful that event was. But the Buddha was not interested in that. To him, it's just like that, Lord. Look at the way he said it. Yeah. This is not the extent how they venerate. Any monk or nun, male or female lay disciple, who practices in line with the teachings, practicing correctly, living in line with the teaching, they are the one who honor, respect, revere, venerate, esteem the realized one with the highest honor. It's almost him saying, this is more miraculous, you know. For men and women, for people to choose to practice and overcome their own natural leanings. Our own lean towards defilements. For us to choose to overcome our instincts and habits, that's more miraculous. That is more precious. That's what the Buddha is saying. So for those of you who had chosen, who had taken it upon yourself to try and overcome your mental defilements, your instincts, your habits, don't scold yourself. You have done well. You've done marvelously well. And the Buddha approved. The efforts, the Buddha approved. Okay? So give yourself a pat on the back. Pat once can already, don't pat too much. We must be modest, huh? Okay, so that's point one I want to make. Point two, this is how practice is. Practices in line with the teachings. This line would tell you, you first need to know clearly know well, what exactly are those teachings? You have to have that clarity. So, for those of you who haven't started and would like to honor the Buddha in the manner he said is the highest, go learn. Go sign up for courses and take it upon yourself to understand it well. That's one part. The second part, you all read English, right? Anybody know read English? Everybody reads English well. Learn to read sutta, the discourses. These days got no excuse. In the old days can say, where to find, huh? Old days means 20 years ago. Today, no excuse. Sutta Central is everywhere. You have a phone, you have access to Sutta Central. And Sutta Central, one day I'll teach you how to use it wisely. For those of you who are not familiar, it's a very, very powerful, very well-organized site that if you are serious, it helps you to really dive deep into the sutta. Bhante Ajahn Sujato had translated word for word, interactive one, can press, can check out Pali word. For those of you who like, I must learn Pali, it's all there, go. And read it well, okay? So you must practice in line with the teaching, so you must know that teaching. Then once you know the teaching, it has to be consistent. Your practice has to be consistent to a point that it changes you. Living in line with the teaching means it has transformed you. If it hasn't transformed you, how do you live in line with the teaching? So therefore, we are talking about right understanding, right application, consistency in your effort, leading to the correct transformation. If the Dhamma, if you tell me I've been going for classes, full stop, sister, I score distinction there. Like straight A's. Yeah, but how does it change you? Slowly. Then like that cannot lah. Must be a bit more fast lah, faster. Why? Because you don't know when you're going to die. Then you say maybe I will start applying next week. Then you die between now and next week. How? I got so sway one man, yeah. Can be so sway. Who knows? Who knows? Who can tell? Right? So, if there is one aspiration you will make today, you will say, today I will apply. See, the mic also can die. Thank you so much. The mic died. Just to make my point, it can happen any moment. Okay? And there it happened. And so, if there's one aspiration, oh wow, the mirror, the screen also died. Facebook is okay. Okay, now this is where you flash out your handphone, go onto Facebook, switch off the volume, and then look at the slides. We are trying to reboot, is it? Oh, projector is faulty. Then how? Oh, okay. You see, it's called ailing. You know, birth, ailing, grow old, and die, right? 3 parts already. It's ailing and it's old. Just let y'all know, huh? Okay. When you understand the Dhamma properly, I have a lot of confidence in you. That's why I didn't say if. I say when. When you understand the Dhamma properly, you will change. And you have to be consistent. You will change. If you say, oh, I haven't changed, then you don't understand. If you understand, you will change. Because the intent of the Dhamma is really for mental transformation. If your mind changes, how can you not change? Maybe your form not change lah. But other than the mind change, there will be a character shift, for sure. In a simple way, example, you shouldn't be so angry. You should be a happier person. Should smile a bit more. Yeah? Smile a bit more. Should be lighter. Should be more peaceful. Should be more helpful. Should be more generous. BF, I remember. Should be more generous. Okay? Now, the next theme. So he's lying there. He made this teaching. And this one, the point I want to bring up is this. This is really cute. So Venerable Upawana, one of his attendants in the past, he was standing in front of the Buddha. Then the Buddha said, move. Don't stand in front of me. Then Ananda thought, Upawana is doing he's always been helpful, and in this final hour, he's very helpful. He's looking after Buddha. Why did the Buddha ask him to move, huh? And so Ananda, took it upon himself to ask the Buddha, why you ask him to move? I took out some of those parts, no need the details, I got no space. And then the Buddha said, because the deities, the devas are here. They are here and they are flooding this forest everywhere. There's not a spot left that there is no deva. They're everywhere. Not a spot, not a fraction of a hair tip that is not crowded with deities. And they're complaining. They are complaining, we have come a long way. I mean, from there, dimensions, to here, it's a long way, okay? We've come a long way to see the Buddha. They all knew it's going to be tonight. The very last watch. It's like there is an advertisement up there. Come, Kusinara, tonight only, for one night only. In the last watch of the night. So they all came. And they're very grumpy. Like, what's this monk doing? Blocking us? We want to see him in his final hour. And then the said, so there are a few things here I want to point out. Number one, these are the terrestrial and celestial beings. So there are devas, celestial, and there are the devas, terrestrial, on earthbound. So some people will say, like Toti Gong, Ti Chu Gong, Tope Gong, you know, your kitchen god, Zhao Gong Gong. I'm just translating into English for you. The earth one, the heath one, the whatever. These are your earth beings. So if you say real or not, well, we have encountered them many times in suttas. I leave it to your imagination, real or not, lor. But for those who can see, they are very real. The Nagas are real. People who can see. Right at the start of the Buddha's dispensation, 6th week, I think it's the 6th week, Muchalinda appeared. That's the Nagas. So when you go up on your Indian pilgrimage and go to Bodh Gaya, you will see Muchalinda in the water, sheltering the Buddha. So right from the start, already they came. Right from the start. The second point I want to make is this. Look at the word. The deities who are free of desire endure mindful and aware, thinking conditions are impermanent. How could it possibly be otherwise? What this tells me is there are Arya devas. Devas. So Anathapindika, Bimbisara, they have become devas in Tawatimsa heaven. They will come. They too will come. And any Arya devas, they will have similar mental conditions as the human Arya practitioners. It's the same. Mental states of the practitioners, of the realized ones, they are all the same set of mental conditions. From wisdom to virya, effort, sati, samadhi, stillness of the mind, to the faith in the Buddha, all they will have the same type. Okay? Sorry, I got to keep moving. Now you begin to feel that I'm speeding up. 4 inspiring places. All of you would have heard of this before, but I want to bring your attention to the following. It started with Ananda complaining, actually not complaining, being very sad and saying, when the Buddha has moved on, when the Buddha is over, correction, he's extinguished, he's over, the monks, the well-practiced monks who used to come and pay respect after the rains retreat, they won't come anymore. We're going to miss them, they won't come anymore. That's the setting, that's the context. In response to Ananda saying or implying that where are we going to see inspirational beings? Do you understand? This is in reply to Ananda saying, in the past, when the Buddha was around, after the rains retreat, all these inspiring figures will come together to pay their respect. We won't have that anymore once the Buddha is no more. And in response to that, sources, origin of inspiration, in response to that, Buddha said, there are 4 places. So I'm setting these 4 places. You go to these 4 places, you will find your sources of inspiration. Okay? It is not the Buddha said, okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very important. So when I go, you all just make sure you go to these places, okay? Because I'm very important. It's not that. The Buddha is not like that. The Buddha was responding to a sad exclamation, a sad observation that when he is no more, they will not be able to find their sources of inspiration. You must remember this is India, ancient time. Actually, anywhere ancient time, no internet. Cannot suka with a press of a button find an inspiring figure. They will. So think of yourself in a space where you don't know where to find inspiration. You don't even have Dhamma books, you know. You don't even know where these monks are. They are all over the place. but they'll find their way to the Buddha. Do you understand that? It's because of that the Buddha said, go to these 4 places. So he made that point. So through the centuries, these 4 places still connect practitioners, still connect devotees, still connected all those practitioner Arya Sangha. All Arya Sangha will make their way there. So when you go there, when you go to these places, take a bow, because those places now serve as places of inspiration, as reminder. Okay, that's point 1. And what are these 4 places? Where he was born. And it has to spread out. Huh? It has to spread out, because, hello, if I put them all on one space, it's a problem, isn't it? You're staying very far from there. Then you say, yeah, but then 4 places, me, I got to go 4 places. You go to 1 also can. He didn't say you must go all 4. He merely said, here are these 4 places, okay? Where he was born, where the realized one became awakened. Where is this place? Where he's awakened, where's this place? Bodhigaya, okay? Where the will of Dhamma was wrote. I can see you're not going there. Benares, Varanasi. Okay? And then when he was quenched, Kusinara. Okay? And the second point I wanted to make, in these places, the word I highlighted, thinking. You don't go there and then, whoa, one tick off my bucket list. You recall. You reflect. The word thinking is there, means you got to think about it. Here, he was born, and then your mind goes, poosh, the joy will shoot through the roof. Here he was born. Here he was awakened. Here he taught the Dhamma, and here he was extinguished. And this is where your mind will shoot through the roof, the joy. Only then, it's that joy that will take you to heaven. If you pass away while there, you see whether your karma is so good, you die there. In which case, I will give you my telephone number and, okay, this is my telephone number. Please come over and say hi, okay? Because you to see that heaven already, ma. Anyone who passes away while on a pilgrimage to these shrines, when their body breaks up, after death will be reborn in a good place, a heavenly realm. So there are 2 things you need to do. 1, you've got to recall. Because if you don't recall, the joy doesn't shoot through the roof. Oh, very nice, very nice, very nice. That's not going to do the trick, okay? You've got to recall and feel the joy. And he already tell you what you must recall. Recall the association with him and be inspired. Now, Buddha, where he was born. Buddha and Dhamma, when he was enlightened. Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, when he unveiled the Dhamma to the ascetic. Do you understand? And at the end, Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha are all present. Kusinara. Okay? Remember that. The first place is only Buddha. The second place had Buddha and Dhamma. The third and fourth place, all 3 gems were there. Okay. Now, then came this question from Ananda. How do we proceed when it comes to female without looking at Ananda? But then when looking, how? Then no chat. Then when chatting, how? Be mindful. I asked this question, could it be inserted later? And then some of you will say, why you ask that question? Because Ajahn Sujato pointed out that in some other texts, in Sanskrit, this particular passage wasn't there. which then seems to suggest. Now, in all texts, all these ancient texts, they went in different direction at a certain point. So when you can find a repeat, a similarity in different texts, in the agamas, in the Nikayas, you will know it comes from an older source. That is why even after they separated, they still have it. But this one is found in the Nikaya, not found in the other sources. So then the question is, when did it come in? Don't know. Nobody can answer that question. But likely it came in later. Because it breaks the flow. And here you're talking about the inspiring places, then suddenly Ananda went, oh, a woman. What do we do with a woman? Don't look at them. Then we look at them, how? Don't talk to them. Then you talk to them, how? Be mindful. I mean, it's so weird, right? This insertion is so weird. So, leave it alone. But this insertion, this stanza, this one that comes after, Ananda therefore asked two questions. First question is a bit odd. Although some will say Ananda and the nuns, he is closest to them because he was literally the one that helped to bring it out. I'm not sure about that either, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. And some of the other Sangha used to complain that Ananda, you were associating too closely with them. Okay, it doesn't matter. So therefore, it may be, yeah. But as I said, factually, given that some other sources don't have it, I'm doubtful. But this second part, how do we deal with the Buddha's corpse? And the Buddha replying, don't get involved in the rites. That's authentic, right? That sounds so like them. Ananda, who loved the Buddha, remember? He loved the Buddha. He's totally devoted. And this is your teacher dying, you know. Surely he will be obsessing about what do we do? What do we do? How shall we do it right? And he's using the word venerating. What's the right thing to do? Buddha said, don't get involved. That's authentic Buddha. Surely he won't bother what to do. Instead, he said, strive, practice, meditate, diligent, keen, resolute for your own goal. The lay people will handle. That's vintage Buddha, right? That's so him. Then come this rather odd, following that, Ananda went, yeah, I hear you, Buddha, but what? How do we do it? How do we venerate? And then comes this detail. This detail on what must be done. That one, I don't know if the Buddha had said this. Doesn't sound quite like the Buddha, except for that last line. The last line is why we, even as practitioners, we will do it. Why do we venerate the relics of the Buddha? Why do we venerate? It's for Saddha, faith. So that you are reminded that what you are learning came from an ancient time, from someone who had made all these sacrifices to make it possible to leave behind this teaching that still continues to inspire centuries later. So when we go and bow, we pay respect, we are actually venerating not just the Buddha, but also the Dhamma and the Sangha, because all these survive because of the effort of Sangha. Look, we say we are fortunate, we live in the age of Dhamma, pat. Without all this Sangha, there is no Dhamma left. Because Buddha left us a long time ago. Okay? So when we venerate the Buddha's relic, we are also venerating Dhamma, and we are also venerating the effort of centuries of Sangha. Okay? Just remember that. That's why I'm not going into the what shall we do with the body of Buddha, no need. Okay? Next, persons worthy of monument. Again, 4 types. except for the last one, which is rather unusual. The Buddha, the Pacceka Buddha, the silent Buddha, the Arahant, the Arya Sangha, Arahant, and the fourth one. So the three of the people worthy of monument, three of them are spiritual leaders, Dhamma leaders. The fourth one is a lay person. It's a lay leader, the wheel-turning monarch. Then you say, why? Because it is very rare to find a leader who will serve, who will administer and govern a country with righteousness. A wheel-turning monarch is a man who will govern righteously. It's a leader who serves his people. He governs righteously. Okay? And because he governs righteously, he created the condition for men to live well and be able to practice. Okay? He lived back behind a good society. So the Buddha said, why is it worthy of a monument? Because what you do when you put it up, you will inspire confidence. When you inspire confidence, when you trigger confidence, saddha in another, that person with saddha has joy, will have joy. There is no saddha without joy. I'm telling you. Okay? Yeah, I have a lot of faith in the Buddha. How do you feel? Okay. I don't know about a lot of faith lah. But something went wrong. Faith for sure, saddha for sure will trigger joy. So for those of you with a shrine at home, you have a shrine at home, and every time you bow before the shrine, you feel joy. Very good, bagus. Your shrine very powerful. Your saddha is triggered by your own shrine. I mean, not your own shrine, the shrine for the Buddha in your house. Okay? The saddha will always trigger joy. Always. Okay. Then we will skip this. This should have been the slide. And after the Buddha and Ananda had their conversation, Ananda went out to cry. That's why this is the only time where it gets really emotional. He went out and cried. And he said, I'm still only a trainee with work left to do. And my teacher is about to be fully extinguished. It's been so kind to me. So he cried. Oh, I only missed out one line. The line is, then the Buddha asked, monks, where is Ananda? So now can we switch back to my slide? Okay, so here the Buddha said, where's Ananda? Then they said, Ananda has gone out to cry. And then the Buddha went, can somebody go and call him to come back? I want to talk to him. Okay, here. Oh, yeah? So that's why you see, okay. I will read to you, you just listen to me. And he said, go and tell Ananda, the teacher summons you. The teacher summons you. So the monk said, okay, I go call him. Then this monk went to call, we don't know who the monk was. So someone went to call him. And Ananda, then he came back in. Then the Buddha said, enough. Enough, Ananda. Don't cry. Do not grieve. Do not lament. Did I not prepare you for this? When I explained that we must be parted and separated from all we hold dear and beloved. How could it possibly be so that when what is born, created, conditioned, and liable to wear out, would not wear out? Even the realized one's body. I want to just stop here and make this point. The reason why the Sangha, the practitioner Sanghas, when they have realized, they stop grieving, they stop crying, or having lamentation and pain and so on, is really because you require a few things. It requires right understanding, And right understanding really means you will see your body, your aggregates, your 5 aggregates of grasping. You will see the 5 aggregates as impermanent, and in the impermanence is dukkha and anatta. They see conditional arising of experiences. They see that. They see it clearly. That's 1. 2, because they are always, their mind, it's always at cessation, not at arising. The difference between an Arya practitioner, the difference between them and us is we see arising, they see cessation. What do I mean? You're always looking for the next thing, right? And you see cessation, you're very scared, you cry. So you go for birth. You go for happy birthday. Birth. We look forward, we anticipate experiences, right? We anticipate experiences, we feel delight, we feel joy. The habit of the regular man is to look at arising. They don't look at cessation. They don't look at ending. They don't pay attention to ending. They pay attention to arising. That's the difference between them and the rest of us. So the Buddha is saying, I've been telling you, everything must end. Everything that arises will end. You practice Ibo. You did not practice, you don't know. Did you not know that? Did you not see that? How can you not know that? So if you have been practicing looking at cessation as opposed to arising, the regular mind, I repeat, the regular mind is fixated on arising. You don't believe me? Lunchtime eat what? Arising. Who says after eating go where? Who say that? Who looks at cessation? The other part. Everybody's going on the front part. No, I'm saying this not because I am fixated with only certain parts. I'm just saying that you've got to look at your own mind and become aware that our mind is lopsided. So our experiences is lopsided. If you focus on looking at death, and if you focus on looking at departure, separation, the mind will naturally go into a sad state, dukkha. So you talk about impermanence, right? You talk about impermanence, even then you're still looking at arising. If you talk about impermanence and look at cessation, look at death, look at departure, look at separation, you won't be so attached because you will realize that that's the end result of everything, every encounter, every experience. You may have looked forward to the starting of this class, but it will end. If you keep thinking about the ending, you won't want to do it again. You can understand? Okay, Okay, 搞了. So that's why the Buddha said, did I not prepare you for this? How could it possibly be? What is born, created, conditioned, liable to wear out, will not wear out. How can it be? So after saying him a bit, the Buddha said, for the longest time, Ananda, you have treated the realized of the Buddha with deeds of body, speech, and mind that are loving, beneficial, pleasant, undivided, focused attention, limitless. He's the way that he treated the Buddha. It's very, very thoughtful, with deep care and love and nurturing, and so on and so forth. So the Buddha said, you have done good deeds. Devote yourself to samadhi. You will soon be free of defilement. Okay? And then the Buddha said to other monks, then the Buddha turned around and said to the other monks, Buddhas of the past and future, nor the future, have attendants who are no better than Ananda is for me. Look, Buddha had many attendants. Ananda is the last one with him. For 20 plus years is with him. And because of that, Ananda is the one that is most successful, most attentive, Most attentive. There are the ones who betrayed the Buddha. There's at least one who betrayed the Buddha. And then there are others who became Arya Sangha, so as in Arahan, and move on. But Ananda is a Sotapanna all the way to the end. He will not be an Arahan in the time of the Buddha because of his attachment. It's really because of his attachment. Because he's brilliant. Ananda is astute. He's intelligent. He is attentive. He knows the time for this and that, meaning he's very good at organizing. It's all these great qualities. People want to go to Ananda. They want to associate with him. And when he goes quiet, they also go quiet. They like to hang around him. So basically, that's what he's saying, the Buddha is saying. That all these fellas from the highest, the Brahmins, the aristocrat, the householder, everyone, they want to hang around Ananda. And they all say nice things about him. It's really good. It's great. So, and this was captured in the Mahaparinibbana Sutta. It's the only other monk mentioned in detail about the qualities. So Ananda takes a special place, a very special place in my heart, but in the heart of this sutta. You notice Ananda is the one that spends the most time with him. It's mentioned everywhere. Okay, teaching on Mahasudassana. This one, it's a very odd teaching. It is almost as if it is almost as if, I'm speculating here. This is not a fact, this is a speculation. The question is, why insert a sutta? You must always ask, this is it's a compilation of the last days of the Buddha's life. Everything that they put in here has to have a reason. If the reason is not obvious, you have to ask yourself, why is the reason not obvious? That's where I'm coming from. It is not enough just to read through, ta-da. You always ask yourself why. So this sutta, to me, my explanation is a speculation. I think there were devotees who didn't like it, who wondered why. Why did your beloved teacher, in his lifetime, kings make appointment to see him and pay their respect? Not one king, Not one king. Bimbisara, Pasenadi, I forgot the other names. There was another king who also knew the Buddha, and a whole bunch of tribal chiefs and Brahmins who are in charge of, or who are teachers and very well respected. All kinds of tactless socialites will go visit the Buddha. But when he passed away, so these are the big things in a person's life, right? When he was born, when he passed on, right? And even for us, when our loved ones die, we want to talk about how significant his passing is. Wow, he died standing. Oh, very impressive. Very significant. No, I'm serious. I'm not saying this. I'm just saying that as human, because this is someone precious to us, we want to read into the significance of key events in the person's life. That is why when prominent monks pass, it's back. Sensitive. When prominent and well-respected monks pass on, I've seen it. They take picture of the sky, they show this giant ring, they say, giant ring, rainbow, monk special. It's the same thing. This is the Buddha that we're talking about. Of course, there will be his disciple going, why this obscure village? It's called a hamlet. This little hamlet, a jungle hamlet. A branch at Ananda cannot take it. Don't pass away here, Buddha. Why here? In Potong Pasir. Why here? Pasir Panjang. Why Pasir Panjang? Why not Orchard Road? Why Pasir Panjang? This is actually what it means, you see. Understand? Okay? Great cities. Champa, Rajagaha, Savatthi. Some of them we already know. Kausambi, which is the capital of one of the kingdoms. Why not there? There will be so many people who will perform the best rites. It will be premium iron bowl, premium seal. Here, in this God-forsaken place, we got nothing. We don't even have good mosquitoes. Buddha, why here? I think that was what happened. I think that is why they inserted this. Because you are reading this 2,500 years. You're trying to get to lunch, so you're not so interested in this. But in his time, in those times, can you imagine headline reading, Buddha passed away, Kusinara, people go, where? Where? It will be like that, okay? So then he went into the story of the significance of the king called Mahasudassana, who was a righteous, it's a wheel-turning monarch. So there was a time this place was the capital of a wheel-turning monarch, which means this is big time. But this is Beijing, this is big time, okay? And so I don't go into details. I am just explaining the significance of these. That's all. So when we finally get to Kusinara, we will not be disrespectful. We will remember Mahasudassana and his kingdom. And it's also in this embedded here is the point, impermanence. Isn't it? Embedded here is also the point, impermanence. And then the Buddha, and this is vintage Buddha also, very thoughtful. Go and tell the lay people here, all these villagers and these people here, go tell the malas that tonight is the night, it's going to be over tonight. This very day, in the last watch of the night, which is 2 to 6 a.m. By traditional term, last watch is 2 to 6 a.m. But the last watch of the night, the realized one will be fully extinguished. Go tell them, so they don't regret saying we never saw him in his final hours. So Ananda, okay, took out the rope, went into Kusinara with a companion. I'm going to fast forward because this one not so exciting. It's basically Ananda went to pass the message. The malas got very grief-stricken. You hear the second stanza. You see malas, their sons, daughter-in-laws, and wives. So men and women. They all got really drama. I mean, how dramatic is this? Hell, this arms raising, falling down their feet. Quite drama even then. They all very excited. And then Ananda said, come and pay your respect. They all went. Now, it must have been a lot of them. Because Ananda took one look at the numbers that came and went. One by one, it never end. By the time he goes, these guys are still here. If I have the malas pay respect to the Buddha, one by one, they won't finish before first light. Meaning, first light is daytime. It's going to go all the way into the night. It will never end. So he got them to come as groups. Here it also shows you Ananda got judgment, good judgment call. So they did. And by the first watch of the night, which is, first watch is 6 to 6, right? 6 to 8. 6 to 10. 6 to 10. Then 10 to 2, 2 to 6. So 6 to 10. This is the first watch, 6 to 8. 6 to 10. Okay. First watch of the night, done. 4 hours, okay? Actually, maybe more than 4 hours. But what it tells you is a lot of them. Okay, the next big point, this is significant. This is significant for various reasons. Subhadda, ascetic, is a wandering ascetic. He's a wanderer, he's an ascetic. In the last watch of the night, 2 a.m. No. He heard 2 a.m. that morning, it's going to be over. I have to see this Buddha. I have to see him. And he came and he went to Ananda and he said, I want to go and talk to the Buddha. I am confident. I've heard that he's going to be over. I'm confident he can help me. You see the word here. I am confident that the Buddha is capable of teaching me so that I can give up this state of uncertainty. Basically, Subhadda had been looking for the Dhamma, and no one can teach him except for Buddha. He was desperate. And Ananda said, no, let the Buddha rest. Don't trouble him. He's tired. Talk about understatement of the year. He's tired. Don't trouble him. No, I want to see him. Please, please, let me see him. And the Buddha heard. And the Buddha said, don't stop him. Don't obstruct him. Let him come. For whatever he asks me, he will be looking to understand. So Buddha knew Subhadda was a sincere seeker. He's not here to cause trouble. Whatever I answer, he will quickly understand. Ananda said, go. Buddha is making time for you. And he sat down and he started his long monologue. There are these ascetics and Brahmins, they are very famous, they are very big time, and then these are the names of all the famous ones. They all said they know, they understood, they have the truth, according to their own claims. Did all of them have direct knowledge, or none of them, or some of them? So he was behaving like any typical fella, interested in seeking philosophical truth, in a seeker. Did they know? Zunbo? Correct or not? Accurate or not? Do they know? So direct knowledge is experiential knowledge, from experience, from practice. Do they all have it? Buddha said, enough, Subhadda, enough. Whatever it is, I'm not commenting on their practice. I will teach you the Dhamma, you listen and hear well. I don't have time. That's the unsaid part. Okay? And this is, to me, the most significant part of the teaching. If there is nothing left that you remember this. In whatever teaching and training. So the Dhamma is always in two parts. It's a teaching, it's a training. Teaching is to feed right understanding, right knowledge. You have to understand the Dhamma properly. Training is the application. What you hear, what you understand, you must know how to apply and do your transformation. It changes your mind, changes the qualities, the content of the mind. So, in whatever teaching, Dhamma and training, Dhamma and Vinaya, training, the Eightfold Path is not found there. There is no ascetic found. In this teaching and training, the Noble Eightfold Path is found. Were these monks to practice well, the world would not be empty of perfected ones. In other words, in the teaching and training, the Eightfold Path is mental states, mental conditioning or reconditioning. That's the Eightfold Path. You apply this mental reconditioning to rewire, to change how your mind works. This is neuroscience. Okay? This is neuroscience. This is rewiring the mind in accordance with the guidance of the Eightfold Path. You rewire. You can do it successfully. If monks practice well, if they do it successfully, they will end this game. The Eightfold Path, it's a Dhamma wheel that takes you to Nibbana. Do not see Eightfold Path, no up. Okay? If there is a last thing you learn the Eightfold Path. So all these while, he's been teaching the Eightfold Path to the last day, to the last man, to the last person, the last conversion. He started with the Eightfold Path, right? You look at Dhamma Chakra, it started with the Eightfold Path. It ends with the Eightfold Path. Okay? When he had spoken, Subhadda said, got it. Excellent, sir. As if he were writing an overturn, revealing the hidden, pointing out the path to the lost, lighting a lamp in the dark. So people with clear eyes can see what's there. These 4 parts, righting what's overturned, meaning what the world knows, salah, he turned it upright. So it changes the mind, the way that you think about things. Revealing the hidden. Until the Buddha came along, the world has no idea about the 4 Noble Truths. The world has no idea that you can rewire in accordance, reshape, rewire, transform your mind in accordance with the Eightfold Path, so that you are able to experience liberation. Liberation means what? Liberated from your defilements, the mental defilements. Mental defilements are shackles. When you're angry, it's very hard to break free, right? When you're worried, you're jealous, you are prideful, it's very hard to break loose. So mental defilements are shackles. You are liberated from mental defilements. You feel free and able to act. So that's at one level in life, it liberates you from your mental defilements and therefore dukkha. But in death, it liberates you from rebirth. So the Dhamma, the Eightfold Path, has that power to bring about liberation for us, for the regular mind. Okay? Revealing what's hidden, pointing out the path that's lost with the practice, the cultivation exercise. Lighting a lamp in the dark. The moment you practice, you apply, at some point, you begin to understand. You get a glimpse. The darkness is what shrouded you, what is around you. Look, you don't have the Dhamma, it's dark, right? There's no joy. I mean, there's joy, but it's temporary. No, not joy. There is delight and gratification, but that's temporary. And you're constantly chasing delight and gratification. But with the Dhamma, for the Dhamma has this power. You can sit quietly, you recall the Dhamma, the joy arises. That's how powerful it is. You don't need to buy another Louis handbag for the woman, another car for the man. No need. Dhamma is free. Just sit there, joy. So peaceful, so quiet, so beautiful. Okay? And even more beautiful, you cannot bring your car along, but you can bring Dhamma along. The Betul? Correct, right? Your car, your, 6th Avenue housing, no, not housing estate, 6th Avenue landed property, I don't know what else you have, they all cannot bring along. But the Dhamma you can bring along. The next arising is a sweet one. Dhamma gives you a boost. Worth it. Spend time with it. Okay? So, this is a very joyous Subhadda. And then, Buddha said, so he wanted to be a monk now, right? I want to go for refuge, the Buddha Dhamma Sangha. I want to receive going forth. He wants to be a monk. Buddha said, if you come from another sect, you must spend 4 months on probation. L plate. 4 months on probation. The lambu plate. Then, if the monks are happy with you, after 4 months, they will give you ordination. Look at what he said. He says he's so happy. He anyhow talk, right? He's so happy. 4 months, 4 years also I can. He is joyous. No, this is him being joyous. You can feel his joy. 4 months, no big deal. 4 years also I can, he's basically saying. 4 years have passed. If they are happy, give it to me. Buddha say, okay. Lucky Buddha didn't say, yeah, okay, 4 years then. Buddha say, joyous, okay. Buddha said, give him the going forth. Okay? Buddha said, give him the going forth. And he's the happy guy. He's like, wow, I'm getting my going forth today, no for probation. Actually, the Buddha is saying, go, give him now. You got no probation. And eventually, this last bit says that he was an arahant. He realized in the last personal disciple of the Buddha became an arahant. Okay, now, this is actually the end of the 5th recitation. We could have ended here, but we didn't. We got 2 more to go, very fast. Just 2 more to go. And to me, it is really beautiful because Buddha started with the Dhamma. When he became a Buddha, he understood the Dhamma. Okay? Buddha and Dhamma started. ends with the Dhamma. Some of you may think the dispensation, the teacher's dispensation has passed. Now we have no teacher. But you should not see it like this. The teaching and the training, Dhamma Vinaya, the teaching and the training that I have taught and pointed out for you shall be your teacher after my passing. And then now he changes the status of the Sangha. Address each other as if they were the teacher. You should not address each other as venerable. A more senior monk ought to address a junior monk by name or clan, or by saying reverend, or by, and the junior monk will address him saying sir or venerable. Now, this line, if it wishes, if the Sangha wishes, after my passing, Sangha may abolish the lesser and minor training rules. Basically, at this point, the Buddha understood. Look, he's a master of impermanence. He understands. Time changes. You may have to shift the rules in accordance with time. That's why he said the lesser and minor rules you can abolish, you can change. But Ananda at this point didn't ask what are they. And nobody thought of asking. And nobody wanted to interrupt him. He just went on talking. Nobody wanted to interrupt. So nobody asked. And then he remembered 𝐁𝐚𝐲'𝐬, which to me, this is really beautiful. Because even at the end, he remembered the guy who drove him. 𝐁𝐚𝐲 was the charioteer who drove the Buddha when he left home. So 𝐁𝐚𝐲'𝐬 was the first person. Okay, just remember this. 𝐁𝐚𝐲'𝐬 was the first person who saw the Buddha without hair. Shave his hair, ma? This is the first person who saw the Buddha without hair. He saw the Buddha's transformation from home to homeless. 𝐁𝐚𝐲'𝐬. So 𝐁𝐚𝐲'𝐬 actually was very special. But 𝐁𝐚𝐲'𝐬, because of that, he was arrogant. He cannot be taught by anybody. And the Buddha didn't want to touch him in his lifetime. Do you know why? Because 𝐁𝐚𝐲'𝐬 is given to anger. If the Buddha said, 𝐁𝐚𝐲'𝐬, lie, come here. Cannot like that. Then 𝐁𝐚𝐲'𝐬 get angry, how? He's going to hell. So he will not touch 𝐁𝐚𝐲'𝐬 in his lifetime. But at the end, he's teaching the Sangha how to train 𝐁𝐚𝐲'𝐬. And 𝐁𝐚𝐲'𝐬 is the only one in the history of Sangha to be imposed Brahmadanda. Brahmadanda is this heavy, divine punishment, is heavy punishment. Basically, they send him to Coventry. Nobody talks to him. Nobody teaches him. Nobody says anything to him because he's very arrogant. He's very arrogant. He answers back. So the Buddha says, you all don't talk to him. Let him figure out for himself. Which, by the way, to end the story nicely, here they didn't say, but I'm just telling you, 𝐁𝐚𝐲'𝐬 figured out. So he became an Arya Sangha. Okay? So this works. And then, the end already, the Buddha said, if you all have any doubt and any uncertainty with regards to Buddha Dhamma Sangha, the path and the practice. So remember, Buddha Dhamma Sangha, path and practice. These are the 5 things that we as practitioners or as devotees, you must always bear in mind. Path and practice. So this is the teaching, the training part. The teaching and the training part. Buddha Dhamma Sangha there already, ma? Teaching, ma? Then the training, the path and the practice, okay? He said, you have any question about this, ask. Don't later regret, Singlish style. Don't regret later thinking we were in the presence of the teachers and we didn't ask the Buddha a question. Then they kept quiet. Nobody asked question. So the Buddha then said, if you are not comfortable, you ask another to help you. Perhaps even the single monk has doubt and uncertainty. Ask, you're in the presence, ask, he kept saying. They ask. So they say, tell a friend to ask for you. Still nothing happens, okay? You can read the red words, I think you did. Then the Ananda said, wow! Ananda very cute. Wow! Amazing! Nobody had questioned Buddha. Nobody had questioned. Yeah, happy. Buddha said, you spoke out of faith. In other words, you're just joyous. You have faith. Okay? But I know they are all Arya Sangha. So with him, at the end, they are all Arya Sangha. Again, the word 500, don't take it literally. It merely means a lot of monks. They are all Arya Sangha. Even the last of them, which is Ananda himself, they are a stream enterer. They will not be reborn in the underworld, and they are bound for awakening. So his last words. Conditions fall apart. Conditions fall apart. People will die. Whatever experiences you have will be over. Remember that. Persist with diligence. You train your mind so that the mind is able to rise above attachment. Persist with, train yourself. Cultivate the necessary qualities. Rewire that mind. And those were his last words. Okay, now finally. So to cut a very long story short here, when the Buddha's mind goes into a natural state, this is the Buddha's natural state. Okay? People have said, why the Buddha enter the jhana 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are the jhana steps. So instead of reading it all to you, I'm just telling you, he went to 1, went to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The 8 is entered the cessation. 9 entered the cessation of perception and feeling. The 8 is the neither perception nor non-perception. But he went into the 9, Nirodha Samapatti, cessation of perception and feeling. Then all still, right? Ananda went, is it over? Has the Buddha become fully quenched? Anuruddha went, nope. It's at Nirodha Samapatti, cessation of perception and feeling. So he's in deep samadhi. Then he came out from there and came back down to 1. And then he went back up to the 4th, and then it's over. So some people, scholars, like real not. Why like that? This is my explanation. I cannot presume to know the Buddha. This is my explanation. I'm offering it. I think this is the Buddha's natural state. In the natural state, the mind just flow and go deep, and then it's not over, it will come out. And so it's not will. I don't believe this is will. For most of us, whose meditation is like that law, that pattern, you have to will very hard to go into samadhi, let alone 1. Like, will very hard to go into. But for the Buddha and the Arya Sangha, it's just like that. It flows very fast, okay? So it's not a big thing. It's just a natural state of mind for him. Very peaceful, very quiet, it flows. Then when it's over, it's over. That's all. And the first stanza they kept was, the first quotation they kept was from Brahma Sahampati. We must remember this. We owe Brahma Sahampati a lot, because he was the one who persuaded the Buddha to teach the Dhamma when he first enlightened. And Brahma Sahampati was with the Buddha. He was always visiting the Buddha. All creatures in this world must lay down this bag of bones, for even a teacher such as this, unrivaled in the world, the realized one, attained to power, the Buddha was fully quenched. Okay. Then King Saka, this is the one that many of you are familiar with. All conditions are impermanent. Their nature is to rise and fall. Having a reason, they cease. Their stealing is blissful. Now, let me explain this a little bit. Conditions here are not just birth of humans or beings. It's not that major birth in the day of your birth 20,000 years ago, okay? This conditioned nature to rise, this condition is the aggregates condition. So all conditions rise and cease. The day that they stop rising, no more. It's peaceful. No more holding. As long as there is a holding, as long as there's an attachment, there will be a rising. Remember this. As long as there is a holding of anything, the form, the person, the name, whatever that you hold on to feeling, it will arise. You hold on to Shankara views, it will arise. As long as there is a holding as a natural mental state, there will be a rising. So when there is no more holding, it will go peaceful, stealing, okay? So that's from King Saka. Beautiful. Anuruddha. There was no more breathing for the unaffected one of steady heart, imperturbable, committed to peace. The sage has done his time. He put out with painful feelings without flinching. The liberation of his heart was like the extinguishing of a lamp. Again, very beautiful. Breathing and beating heart life. That's us. The mind. So the body beats, the heart beats, the lungs breathe. This is the physical form. For the mind, when he has done his time, as part of nature, the body will stop beating. This is nature. He's honoring that. And then with regards to the mind, no attachment, no holding on. When it's over, it's over. No more energy to sustain another becoming. Ananda was a really cute one. Terror, goosebumps. So you can see Ananda, he's probably really distraught. He's lost. The Ananda is the only one. He's lost. He's in tears. And there are some monks who so they are probably some of these monks who are not free of desire. You see, you must remember, the Buddha said, the last of them is a stream enterer. And these monks reacting must be those stream enterers. They're not all arahant. There are different stages of enlightenment. So the ones who overreact will be like Ananda. Now, this is just an expression, okay? It's not literal. Don't imagine monks rolling around on the floor. Okay? This is not literal. It is just a stock phrase. It's an expression that they were very distraught. But the ones who are mind-free, they're mindful. Mindful, aware, and they're thinking. Conditions are impermanent. How could it be otherwise? Okay? Anuruddha got tired of these guys wailing, right? Enough! Don't grieve or lament. And he's saying exactly what the Buddha is saying. And he said, look, people are laughing at you. Deities are laughing at you. The deities are complaining. Stop it. And he went on to talk about the different types of deities and so on. But the last point I want to make, I want to bring to your attention is how Anuruddha and Ananda honored the Buddha, spent the night talking about Dhamma. The highest honor, right? Spend the night talking about Dhamma, and then when it is time, he told Ananda, go tell the rest. So they all came and they say goodbye in their very dramatic way. Now, end of 5th plus recitation. Question. We will take one. Two lah, one online and one on site.
Anyone, please raise your hand. I'll come over. No?
Don't have. Move on.
Okay.
Anything on site?
Yes.
Online?
Yes, hang on.
Choose one.
One. Choose one. Okay, so just choose one. Okay. So there's this someone online asked, as Buddha had extolled Ananda's qualities, is the reason why Ananda remained a Sotapanna and not an Arahant because of his attachment towards the Buddha, following which is Ananda's attachment to the Buddha considered a defilement? Thank you in advance, Sis Sylvia.
You know, when we use the word defilement, we are making a judgment call here, right? When the Buddha used the word defilement, he's not judging. It merely is a stain. It's something that pulls you back, holds you down. It's from that perspective that we say attachments are defilements, because attachment causes you to experience dukkha. Okay? Don't see it as a judgment, negative judgment per se. You know? This is not like that. But yes, Ananda was definitely attached to the Buddha, and really, that is not mentioned anywhere. It's implied, but it's not specifically said. It is implied that because of his attachment, he couldn't become an arahant. It's implied. Because the Buddha said, you've done all these, you've done well. You meditate, you will get through. So from that, it means it's a matter of time, he will become an arahant. It will happen. And to me, because of his response, and they capture it. You remember this sutta, right? It's all very clinical, very dry, very cold. Except when it comes to Ananda towards the end, then they really put in the expression. So you must imagine whatever is happening times 10. Ananda was really distraught. Everybody knew. And so, to me, it's his attachment that prevents the end game for him. Okay? Is it a defilement? It is a stain. It is what holds him back. And that's why he experienced dukkha. If he were not attached to the Buddha, at this point he would behave exactly like Anuruddha. Like that, law. It would have been like this. But it didn't. Okay? That's it. No more question?
Any other questions from the floor? Last call. Raise your hand.
No more.
No, that's all. Yes.
Are there any more questions? No more? Huh? Okay. I asked all of you to share merits with two departed beings. Okay? One, see, the way I draw it is very without frills. We want to dedicate memory to Brother Yu. We want to wish him well. We wish that for Brother Yu, wherever he has taken rebirth, may he be well and happy. Okay, just close your eyes and feel it. May Brother Yu be well and happy wherever he has taken rebirth. A second person is Mr. 𝐒𝐲𝐥𝐯. Again, can I invite all of you to just close your eyes and wish him well. May Brother Yu, wherever he has been reborn, may he be well and happy. Thank you very much, everyone. You going to chant?
Yes. Okay, please be in Anjali. Let us do the dedication of merits to all celestial beings. Okay. Akasata cha bhumata devanaga mahidika punyantana lumoditva chirarakantu loka sasana akasata cha bhumata devanaga mahidika punyantana lumoditva chirarakantu dhamma desana akasata cha bhumata devanaga mahidika punyantana lumoditva chirarakantu mamparam. Dedication of merits. Let us invite all sentient beings to participate in our quiet merits. Etavata chammehi sampadam punya sampadam Sabbe Deva Anumodantu Sabba Sampati Siddhya Eta Vata Chammehi Sampadam Punya Sampadam Sabbe Bhuta Anumodantu Sabba Sampati Siddhya Eta Vata Chammehi Sampadam Punya Sampadam Sabbe Satta Anumodantu Sabba Sampati Siddhya. Dedication of merits. Let us dedicate the merits of participating in a wholesome Dhamma activity to our departed relatives and friends. Idam me nyatinam hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo. Idam me nyatinam hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo. Idam me nyatinam hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo. End of service dedication. I dedicate the merits which I have accumulated to the cultivation of my mind in order to bring happiness and benefits to all sentient beings. I dedicate the merits to my parents, children, spouse, relatives, friends, colleagues, and my adversaries, wishing them long life, good health, happiness, and prosperity. May we never part from the Triple Gem, and may we always walk the path towards enlightenment. Closing homage, let us pay respects to the Triple Gem. Arahant Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Buddham Bhagavantam Abhivademi. Sakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhamman Namasami. Supatipano Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Sanghang Namami. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.